go in there and really kick the shit out of everybody. They could have done something with her and Awesome Kong. They could have done something with Havoc, and I know they're doing something now with that Lady Papa or whatever. That's Barbarian's daughter.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good, but she's not in Awesome Kong's league. Like, not even close.
Yeah. I think that, I thought that this whole thing with, GFW teaming up with TNA might help, but I don't know if it's going to help them more or it's going to hinder them more. I mean, granted, you get to see guys like Chris Masters again, Sanjay Dutt, guys like, what is it?
PJ Black.
PJ Black. Oh, man. When he won the, King of the Mountain Championship at, the night before, I thought that was awesome. I'm thinking, well, this is a guy, who was overlooked by WWE for so long, and he's still doing amazing. And I thought his match in...
Yeah, he is good, and they just had a match 2 minutes ago. EC3 defended his championships against PJ Black. It was a very good match. It was awesome. They're that's a good thing for EC3. He got another win under his belt, but it wasn't under anybody that's been proven. It's somebody that's been there for 2 weeks. So yeah, I really do like the TNA GFW angle, this whole idea that they have where they're not merging two companies, but it's two companies feuding over belts, and it's basically one company is piggybacking off of another one for publicity. It's very similar. It's very similar to what ECW and the WWF had relationship-wise in '96. It was 18 years ago, but that's what it reminds me of a little bit. You got the guys in the ring that just don't work with each other very often. They can tell they don't really like each other, and it's I'm only here because Jeff told me to, and we're putting on GFW matches now, and this is what we do. And the best thing about TNA right now is the Wolves, the American Wolves.
Oh, definitely.
They're so good. They're so good.
I did find it kind of funny how they was it Eddie Edwards or it was Eddie Edwards, who got injured, and the Hardys won the title, and then Jeff got his leg broke, he got injured, and then did the whole best of 3, best of 5 with Dirty Heels, and they eventually wound up being the champions again. So it's you might as well just left the titles on hold and then just say, oh hey, you didn't miss out on much, so here you go.
The weird thing about it is when someone gets hurt, they're out for 2 months, but they don't tape more than every 2 months. So they really could have just not even they could have just forgot about it and just never vacated the titles and maybe went a couple weeks without them having any defendings or something, and then they'd just been back and no one would have cared. No one would have noticed, no one would have anything. But yeah, the title's been vacated I think 3 times since the Wolves have been champions once.
That's the same thing that they did with Brock Lesnar last year. I mean, he showed up when he showed up, he defended the title. So.
He wrestled 3 times over a 6-month span, so yeah.
Roughly. But now going from TNA to something very, very sad, to something more exciting, the future, NXT. I know you've spoken very highly about it, and NXT has been definitely one of the, the second brand from Raw and SmackDown, WWE, even though people are saying, oh no, they're still the same thing. You look at NXT, and you definitely could tell there's a big difference between their booking and the way WWE books, and obviously, Triple H is mainly behind it. And actually what was funny is that one person, I think it was another podcast guy I listened to, Solomonster, he mentioned that it seemed like NXT only had 1 or 2, writers on there, and WWE has about 30. And it's
I believe that, yeah.
It's okay, so you have all these writers in WWE, and you're coming up with all these shit matches, and you're having this whole Divas Revolution deal. Why not have maybe 2 or 3 of those writers focus on that storyline instead of,
I know.
having all hands on deck? But
yeah, it's really strange. Yeah, NXT, in my opinion, is a much more polished, much more professional, much more exciting brand. I mean, it's really, and it sucks because I like Ring of Honor a lot, but it's Vince and it's Triple H mainly. He wanted to get a hold of that, 15 to 20% of wrestling fans that love that style of wrestling, that old school, traditional style, kind of Attitude Era, kind of, Ring of Honor, old school TNA, the indie style of wrestling. They wanted to capture that, and NXT is just like Ring of Honor, but it's better. It's better. It's more. It's all of the production quality alone, and it just crushes Ring of Honor. If Ring of Honor wanted to tout anything right now, they could basically say we're kind of like NXT. Watch us. Well, just like NXT, because that's what Triple H has done. Is he's made a WWE version of Ring of Honor, and it's awesome. Their show is so similar to what Ring of Honor used to do on the HD network. I don't remember that HD net or whatever it was. Years ago. But it's so funny. Like William Regal is the general manager. For a time being on Ring of Honor on HD net, Ric Flair was the general manager. I don't know if you knew that or not. Before he came to TNA in 2010, in 2009, he was the general manager of Ring of Honor. And it was so cool. Like, it was a good show. The matches were old school, long, interesting. They did have the women's wrestling, and they were really good. And God, they had, Adam Cole, Kevin Steen, John Moxley, and it was, all those guys before. They're huge now with being Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and it's just crazy. It's interesting.
I think I love NXT, but then when they bring them to WWE, it's really bad what they do with them, because it's like, you're going to be hot and white hot in, NXT, you're going to be something really major, but then as soon as they cross over to WWE, usually takes about a couple matches, and then they're kind of just like another peg in the show.
Out,
I think
Adrian Neville is the perfect example of that, because when he debuted, it was like, wow, and he took John Cena all the way to his limit. He took Seth Rollins to his limit, but he
that match was
every
awesome.
single time. I think it was him and Jericho that wrestled in Japan.
Yeah, it was.
God, that was great. I mean, this Neville guy is such an amazing worker. If he's not like some sort of main eventing, machine years from now, they'll completely miss the boat on him, and I wouldn't doubt it if they do. It is really weird. They do bring in these NXT guys and then just let them fizzle. It's weird.
I think one of the best examples of that, I've said this so many times, I'm not going to let it go, was definitely the Ascension, because those guys were just on a rampage. They only lost like maybe a couple matches in NXT to Lucha Dragons.
Are you talking about the Ascension? Did you say the Ascension?
I did say the Ascension. What did somebody say? The Demolition LOD ripoffs, apparently they're usually called. But But no, I honestly thought that they needed to have like some kind of dominating tag team, and even when I saw live main event, they were saying like, oh, they were the most dominant tag team, we're the most bone crushing, and blah 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 blah. They do the whole welcome to the wasteland, and I look at this and I think I would believe that if you guys won a match like for like at least a month straight, but
I know
they haven't done anything. The last major thing they did was like eliminate two teams in the Elimination Chamber tag match, and then they got eliminated by future tag team champions and primetime players.
Yep.
And same thing with Lucha Dragons. They were white hot. They were doing so awesome, and then they lose to these guys. I forget.
I know when they came to the main roster, which is sort of funny because I think NXT is a better show.
Yeah.
But when they came to their WWE's main roster, they put them in the ring with jobbers week after week, and they kept having the commentators make note of this. Like, they were mocking it. I remember JBL specifically was saying, these guys think they're so tough, Michael. They think they're so tough, but they ain't been in the ring with nobody yet, Michael.
Jeez.
And then they would just go on. And then finally when they did get in the ring with someone tough, they kind of beat the shit out of them, and then everybody just kind of looked at them as a joke since then. It's not to say that they won't eventually come around again and be a dominant tag team, but it's like they were doomed from the get-go. It was really strange. Like, they came out and they pulled a Ryback, right? Like, Ryback, when he came out as Ryback, he squashed nobodies. Like, every week they had him coming out just beating up nobodies. He was taking on 2 or 3 guys at once. And Michael Cole wasn't saying, like, well, these guys are nobodies. They were saying, like, he's beating 3 guys at once right now. He just picked up 3 guys at once right now. It's so weird. Like, you guys are the worst commentary team on the planet. Like, they can make or break people when they do every week.
Yeah. Well, now going into the show tomorrow night, the NXT Takeover in Brooklyn. It's definitely hyped up to be something very major, and one of the matches I'm looking forward to is going to be for the NXT Women's Championship, Bayley versus Sasha Banks. What are your thoughts on both Sasha and Bayley as far as, how their work ethic goes and how their just in-ring performance goes?
I think Sasha Banks is probably the best NXT female wrestler, and I know that probably it's kind of crazy to say, with Charlotte being still and one of the women's female ladies, but female ladies as well. One of the female competitors.
Superstars.
Awesome. Sasha Banks is probably the best, though, and I don't know what you do with that. It's a little weird because she hasn't brought the belt with her to the main roster. So I kind of think they're going to have her drop the belt. And you said it was to Bayley? Is that who she's wrestling?
Yeah, she's wrestling Bayley.
I think that makes sense, because Bayley's one that didn't come up with the rest of them. And I think that Bayley would be a great wrestler to work with the rest of the division that is coming up, or whoever's next coming up from NXT. I mean, I know there's still Emma, and there's still a few other ones that are there. But I think Bayley would be the best one to put in that position. If they're going to use everyone else on the main roster for, who knows how long, then Bayley would be the perfect fit to stay in NXT and keep that belt.
Yeah, I think somebody said this, and I completely agree with this statement, that Bayley was definitely what people want to see when it comes to a female wrestler. Not a superstar, but a wrestler. She just looks the part, she acts the part, she's very dedicated, and I think that when she had that the contract signing between her and Sasha, did the whole deal where Sasha was just making it seem like, oh, you're a nobody and you're always going to be a nobody. Everybody's always expecting, Bayley's going to be like this nice girl, she's going to be happy. Sasha leaves the ring, and Bayley just, beelines, just beats the crap out of Sasha, and it's just like one of those things everybody was looking forward to. Everybody's looking forward to seeing Bayley at her breaking point, and then finally the chance of, Bayley's going to hug you just changes from Bayley's gonna kill you, Bayley's gonna kill you.
Yep.
Oh, man. Another tag team match. Well, actually, now we're going into the whole Japanese thing that we were talking about. Having Jushin Thunder Liger finally make a debut in WWE against Tyler Breeze. What are your thoughts on that match?
That's amazing. Like, this whole idea is amazing. Jushin Thunder Liger has been a staple in Japanese lore and in wrestling, and in the agreement between Ring of Honor and New Japan over the last few years has brought Jushin Thunder Liger to American soil, but he's always wrestled in Ring of Honor. Now you have this idea that he's going to wrestle for the WWE at an NXT show, which I believe has the same city that Ring of Honor is running a show in. Aren't they running a show during SummerSlam weekend somewhere in the same area, somewhere around New York, like it's in Manhattan or something? Or
somebody was actually saying that, and they were saying NXT, Triple H was trying to go head to head with NXT and just beat out Ring of Honor, and Triple H
it's
just said
crazy because, and then I guess Ring of Honor has done a couple things now where recently trying to say, hey, your agreement is with us. Like, what's going on here? And what New Japan has basically said, listen, Jushin Thunder Liger is an independent contractor. We pay him per appearance. He comes here. He is not under contract in New Japan. He is his own entity. He is like a superstar among superstars, He is not a Shinsuke Nakamura or even, Okada or anything like that. Those are New Japan wrestlers. Like, they go where New Japan wants them to do their own and work for New Japan. Jushin Thunder Liger's his own thing. So he can go work wherever he wants to. And if he wants to sign a one-time deal with WWE to show up on NXT, that's amazing. That's so exciting.
Yeah. You picking Liger over Breeze?
I actually hope... Okay, I don't know all the matches that are going to happen tomorrow night, but I'm just anxiously awaiting it to happen. I'm not exactly sure all the matches that are going to happen, but I can give you all my predictions if you want.
Yeah,
but I'm going to say Liger. I wish Liger would go over, but I doubt he will. He's so good. He's so willing to put over other people. It's so amazing. I think it was just this last year, or maybe it was the year before, where he faced Adam Cole, and Cole went over, and Jushin Thunder Liger wants to shake his hand at the end, and of course it's Adam Cole, so he's too cocky to do it. And it's just man, oh well, we still had a good match. He just claps and cheers for him and has the crowd cheering for him and stuff. It's just awesome.
Yeah, I think, that's what I was kind of going through. I was kind of going through match by match, giving thoughts on it, and then going into predictions. So I think we both are in agreement that Bayley's going over Sasha, because honestly, who better? But I think I'm going to go with Liger on this one, because as talented as Tyler Breeze is, I think having a good showing in this